Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, Councilor Siomo, your staff and central staff for a great budget process and for helping me get answers to so many of my questions. I've spent a lot of time reflecting on these votes today, and I'll be voting in favor of the operating and capital budgets and against the parking meter fund allocation and the Boston Public Schools budget. In this operating and capital budget, we are making some smart investments. The largest allocation ever to parks from McConnell in my neighborhood to Harambee and Dorchester and Mattapan to Cassidy and Brighton. I spend a lot of time in these parks with my 4 boys, and I know how much they mean to the people of the city of Boston. I also know that many of us would like to see the geese removed from these parks. We are also supporting our first responders and investing in our public safety, from the new East Boston Police Station to new fire trucks and equipment. And our EMS teams do an incredible job as they are on the front lines every day saving lives. I'm happy that we're getting them more ambulances and personnel. I'm proud to chair the Committee on Mental Health, Homelessness, and Recovery, and I'm very encouraged by the new money D&D is spending to help homeless individuals into housing and supportive services. And I'm so grateful for the increased spending to family aid, the city's safety net for homeless families. I want to keep a strong spotlight on the problem of family homelessness. It is a rising trend. And I'm also looking forward to working with the new Office of Housing Stability to keep Boston's families from losing their homes in the first place. Family homelessness creates an incredible obstacle for homeless children, which is why we need serious investment to help BPS's 4,000 homeless students. I am thrilled that since our hearings, BPS has decided to hire a new full-time project director to oversee our support for these students. That's a critical first step. We should also designate a homelessness liaison in each of our schools with appropriate funds to help homeless students get backpacks, school supplies, whatever they need. And we should keep coming up with more ideas together, because these students need the very best we can offer. This help for our homeless students is a great example of what we can achieve when all of us, the City Council, the Superintendent, the Mayor, the School Committee, work together. So I'm frustrated to find myself here against the BPS budget, frustrated because as a BPS parent and a former BPS teacher, I was ready to roll up my sleeves and help figure out targeted adjustments that would make the school budget work better for our kids. Instead, the focus was too often on headline-grabbing numbers like calls for 31 or 38 more million dollars, but grandstanding is not activism. I do not believe that any of us are complicit in our vote today. I have witnessed incredible reflection by my colleagues. And parents do not measure success by political wins, like the overall price tag of a school. We measure it by what our kids experience in the classroom. As a city councilor, I knew I would have to make hard choices, and I was very ready to be practical about spending limitations and reasonable about priorities. Then unproductive political power struggles got in the way of productive solutions. Instead of working together, we got locked into a standoff. A vote on the BPS budget should not be a way of measuring political success for any of us on the 5th floor. It should be about equipping our kids for academic success in the classroom. That is why I've advocated for small investments that would have big impacts for our kids on September 8th, the first day of school. For $600,000, we could have saved all of the librarians being cut. For $300,000, we could have put a reading specialist in each of the 3 schools that are losing their reading recovery program. For $1.3 million, we could have avoided losing 1 out of every 5 of our school psychologists. The administration is willing to put the blame for these cuts on our school principals, but I am not. It isn't school autonomy when principals are forced to choose between a rock and the hard place, between the librarian and the math teacher. And with the adjusted student-weighted formula, we are forcing our principals to make harder choices than ever. We need a soft landing for our schools with autism and emotional impairment strands. For $2.2 million, we could give all of those schools the extra support they need. I look forward to working with the school committee, the superintendent, and others to make these key differences at the classroom level, to make sure that we have enough support staff, that we aren't breaking what works, and that our families can rely on our commitments from year to year so that they can make a plan for their child's education and trust us to hold up our end of the bargain. Unfortunately, we didn't do that this year. Political ego overshadowed our kids, and sound bites and grandstanding got in the way of productive conversations. As a parent and as a former teacher and now as a Boston City Councilor, I have to vote against the Boston Public Schools budget as it stands. Thank you.